Hey guys, welcome to Crypto Command. Looking at the crypto markets today, everything appears to be in the red. Pretty much the top 10 coins are all in a downward trend, seeing double-digit decreases for Ripple and Stellar so far today. This is really being led by Bitcoin coming back a little bit, down 4%. We'll get into the technical analysis of that in just a minute. But really, this is the story across the crypto markets. Just scrolling through here slowly, you can see that there are very few exceptions that are not in the red. DigixDAO is slightly up. We are going to look at the price action of that, as we did check it out a couple of days ago. We'll see what the update is there. And I think this is really the story of the day. This really just goes to show how much the price of Bitcoin is leading the markets right now. So going back to our overall crypto market cap, you can see that the level is at 447 billion. We've really been looking at 450 billion as an important level to hold. So seeing the price of Bitcoin bouncing down is an important thing to keep an eye on. So if we go over to the charts, we now have a fair number of lines drawn on here. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. This is the Bitcoin Coinbase daily chart, and we have pretty much been focused on this level between 11,600 and right around 10,400. So let's go ahead and zoom in to that area, and you can see this is once the price of Bitcoin moved through this downward trend line, things were moving up, and then we hit this 11,600. That's where we really were yesterday, and now what has happened is we have completely bounced off of that line and are headed back down. So let's switch this over to the 4-hour chart, and if we flip this, you can see we have some. Right when this hit, the trend line started coming back down, and now we've had a rather large red candle as this moves its way back down. There is one thing in here that is noteworthy, though, is that if we look at the moving averages, so let me take the 15-day moving average off of here so that you see the 50-day drawn here in the solid, thin pink line. This is moving along right at a point where there could be some support if the price of Bitcoin comes back down. So this is our 10,000, just under 10,400 level. And so you can see that that moving average is now starting to trend right along that line. And so I would expect that this would be the level at which you would see some support if Bitcoin continues to come back down. So let's just draw a line here to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. So I think the lines could come back down. We could hit this, and then this would be the possibility at which we would see some support and could come back in. And this could come straight back up, could take longer, but that's when I would expect that we will see a test of 11,600 again. So it's really this channel where we're seeing some oscillations back and forth to see what's going to happen with the price of Bitcoin. So what can you do in a market like this where the price of Bitcoin is moving back and forth and it's really driving the overall markets? As we see trend of Bitcoin go down, this is going to have a big effect on the alts as well. So what I've been doing is trying to look for some coins that stand out as far as the technical analysis goes. There are plenty of great projects out there, strong fundamental analysis that could be great things to be able to accumulate during this phase. I'm not trying to give any advice here, but simply what I'm doing is just looking at some of the coins that are showing some potential technical strength. So the first one to talk about is DigixDAO. This is the gold alternative, the token that will be the full project will be coming out in the coming months, but currently the token that you can get your hands on is DigixDAO. And so we talked about this on the live stream last weekend. This is really setting up as a pretty classic cup and handle. And so what I've drawn here is the cup here where you can see things were moving up, and then we started to pull back. And as things came back up, we saw this point of resistance right at where we'd seen it before, and things started to move down in this handle formation. So I've broadly drawn what that handle looks like, and here in the dotted arrow, you can see that there has started to be a breakout from the handle. Where you'd really expect to see the breakout on this pattern is, let me draw an additional line here so that you can really see it. Let's do a solid thin line. We'll do a different color. This will be somewhere in this range, right at the top of the cup is where we would expect to see things really moving through. So there's still some range to go, but you're starting to see the green candles trend toward this line. And so that's why I've drawn my arrow going up along this line. So that's the pattern that I am currently following. If we go to a shorter term line, this is the 1 hour, you can see that this has really started to be the breakout. Normally I don't look at candles that are very short, but you can also see that there's really been this big breakout in the past few candles. This was also the breakout as there was sort of a split from the handle that formed here. So probably the 4 hour is the real window to watch here, and we'll see if that continues to go in the upward direction. Okay, and let's take a look at one last chart, and that will be the chart for Aragon. So this is another chart that I wanted to feature today because it is similarly showing a cup and handle formation. Not quite as clean as what you're seeing on DigixDAO, but nonetheless, this could be a potential breakout to the upside from this handle. So this is the cup formation that I've outlined here, where we've seen a trend back up, and then the handle has really extended down at this point. So I've mainly drawn the cup here to show you this point. Let's just draw it the same way that we drew it for DigixDAO. There's a point probably somewhere in here where we would expect to really see things break out. But we've definitely seen the trend start to move back up from the handle here. What's particularly caught my attention on Aragon is the volume that has popped back in to the project since this downward trend on the handle. So just putting a few other indicators along here, seeing the relative strength move way down as this handle really started to form. You saw the volume drop off. The volume was higher on here, peaked out right around the time we saw here, and now we're seeing that volume return. There's also a return in the relative strength. And so this has started to form a bit of an upward trend line. So this is what I am watching to see if it continues to follow, is this breakout from the handle. And about the time it hits somewhere in this level, I wouldn't be surprised to see it really take off. So these are just a couple of examples of things that I'm paying attention to right now. Certainly not trying to promote individual coins, not trying to provide any financial advice, just things to think about as this market continues to move sideways. It's definitely difficult to pick winners that are going to move in the upward direction right now. So I hope you guys find this helpful. If you do, please give the video a like. And if you like content like this, please subscribe to the channel. And until next time, thanks for watching Crypto Command.